Hey guys, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Tim. Today we're going to review my 2020 F-150 Lariat. I do have the build sheet on the counter, which I did get with the truck, so that's nice. It is a 2020, but I bought it in March of 2021. It's probably the last person to get a deal on a pickup truck. We'll go through that after and some of the specs that I laid out on the counter, fuel mileage, all that crap. So obviously, as you can see, this is a crew cab with a short box. Some of the features, the reason I bought it for is because I wanted this spec, I wanted the 5-liter V8, I wanted the big gas tank, and some of the other stuff that came with it differentiates it, say, from a 501A is all LED lights. I'll do a walk around after. We're starting in the garage because it's starting to snow out, it's windy, and it's cold. So I'll do a walk around probably a bit later. And that's what we're going to start with. And then we'll do an interior and some of the minor things that I did because I wanted to, and so on. The truck is dirty. It is winter time, so kind of it's the way it is. With this nice little two-tone layer on her. I did, however, put these are new tires. I got some Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws. Probably review them a little later. Did have Goodyears on it when I bought it, but they wore out. Currently, I only have 63,000 kilometers on this truck. I'll double check when we get inside. And this was a leftover on the lot, so I did buy it, like I said, in March of 21. It is a 2020 model. I'm assuming it didn't sell because it had chrome package. So, you know, chrome bumper, chrome wheels. Did have chrome running boards. I'll go through that later. Chrome rear bumper, mirrors, all that good stuff. And of course the whole grille is chrome. We'll do a better walkthrough when I got it outside, but it's pretty cold out right now. And I did put this on, yes, because I was starting to get rock chips. As you can see, it's got a few, you know, it's 4 years old, so kind of got to expect that. Don't mind we're in the garage, so you're going to see a bunch of crap on the walls and such, dartboards, TVs. And, you know, figured why not put the chrome in the tailgate. Here we got the chrome package. I put a tonneau cover on it. It's one of these 3-piece back flips. I find they're pretty good. It's pretty strong. You can stand on this one. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. Rear sliding window, which I think is really good. I love driving on the highway with that cracked open, kind of vents the cab out. And of course, you know, the benefits of this, the crew cab being it's got a huge back seat. Huge back seat. We'll go over that a little bit later. And some of the specs. So this is the build sheet for the truck when I bought it. I did have it. I remembered I had it. So, you know, it's got all the year and all that good stuff there. 5-liter V8, 10-speed auto. And I won't go over all this stuff because, you know, every truck's probably going to be different. But the highlights I made out of this, I made a little sheet, you know, 5-liter V8, 395 horsepower, 400 foot-pounds of torque, 10-speed auto, which I personally really like. This transmission shifts really quick on the highway when you floor it. It's good at cruising speed. You're only like 1,500, under 2,000 RPM when you're cruising at highway speed. Does have the mileage here. I'm in Canada, so that's liters per 100 kilometers. I've had better than that, and I've had worse. Depends on the temperature. And I have a little sheet here of my mileages. These are usually what I average on the highway, which is around 10.5 to 11.5 liters per 100, which works out to about 20.5 to 22.5 miles per gallon if you're American. In the city yesterday, this is what I got. Driving around the city, stop and go traffic, 12.1 liters per 100, which is about 19.4 miles per gallon. But depending on the temperature, you can expect these 16 to 17 miles per gallon or 13 to 15 liters per 100. That's kind of the standard. This truck does have the big gas tank, 136 liter, 36 gallon, which gives you over 1,000 kilometers of range, which I do like. Sucks when you got to fill it up, but the range is really good. those are some of the basic things that most people want to know when they buy a truck. The fuel mileage, because it is the V8. This truck does not have cylinder deactivation or any of that other crap that some of the other trucks have, which is also why I wanted it. And I've had previous trucks. I'm not dissing the turbos or anything like that. The EcoBoost, I had one. I'll insert some pictures as I go on. I had a 2016 F-150 XLT extended cab with the 2.7 liter twin turbo V6. It was a good truck. You know, it's not meant for towing. I do obviously tow my equipment with this truck on a car hauler trailer. The other one, the 2016, it was good on the highway. Like, you're just throw some shit in the box and stuff like that. It's probably pretty good for that, but I wouldn't recommend towing with those. I've known a few guys that sold their Super Duties to buy F-150s because on paper, they're like, oh, well, on paper, this truck could tow 13,000 pounds, you know, whatever. And they ended up selling F-150s and going back to Super Duties because it doesn't matter if this thing says it can tow 13,000 pounds or 12 or 10, whatever it may be. I wouldn't recommend it. These trucks just aren't meant to tow that much. You get away with like side by side, or like you're towing a little mini excavator for a short distance, you can get away with it. But I wouldn't recommend it for towing. These are my opinions and from what I've seen. And if I was towing anything like heavier than my equipment, say like a skid steer, I would not be towing with that. It's just not going to be able to do it. So back to this. These are all the specs. You know, it's got 360 camera, panoramic moonroof, all that stuff, right? B&O sound system, heated steering wheel, which is really nice here in Canada. I do like that. Heated seats, vented seats, all that good stuff. And in 2020, that's what it's stickered for. $73,929. Now, I did not pay anywhere near that. My price was below $60, tax in, out the door. So just take that with a grain of salt. And of course, you know, it's 2020, so if you buy a 2020, you're definitely not going to pay that. And if you buy a new one, well, you'll probably pay over that, because that's the problem with new trucks these days. They are expensive. That's why I'm doing this review. So if anybody's out there in the market for a used F-150, they're looking at something like this, this is the review for you. And we'll start off with a few problems I had with this truck. Only a few minor ones, which is good. One of them being the running boards. This running board is off a 2021 F-150 black, which is a lot better. It came with a chrome one. I'll insert a picture here. And the problem with the chrome ones is they're super cheap. So the chrome one had the chrome in between all these little ridges here. And it was good for a while, but it started to bubble and start to look like shit. So I went to the dealer and they replaced it under warranty, free of charge. And they put the exact same one on. So 8 months later, it looked the same. So I got rid of them. And I found these on Marketplace. And I think the guy only wanted a couple $100. I paid like $200 for them. You know, I could have got aftermarket ones, but I like the factory ones. I think they look all right. You know, and these off 2021 look better. So these are the ones I put on, and it's been perfect ever since. Paint doesn't peel. There's no chrome. The chrome, it was really hard to clean the chrome ones down. They got dirty in between all those little grooves, and it was just not great. The other problem I have with this truck was the front pinion seal. It did leak, but the dealership covered it under warranty, free of charge. So those are the only really problems I have with this truck so far. I hope it stays that way, but you never know. We'll keep you up to date on that. Here's the engine bay. It's a bit dirty, but like I said, it's winter time. It's pretty much stock, you know, stock airbox. There's the engine. I prefer the 5 liter. No turbos, easier to maintain. It's just, you don't have to worry about the turbos and all that. And honestly, the mileage is on par with that 2.7 twin turbo I had. So that 2.7 twin turbo, I was getting around 10.5 liters per 100 on the highway. I do a lot of highway, so that's kind of what I go with. The odd bit of city, Like I said, I was getting 12.1 yesterday driving around the city. I think that's decent. And this V8 gets the same mileage as that. And this will be better when I'm towing than a 2.7 or a 3.5. I just find those don't really get that great of mileage. I know people with them, and I get better mileage than they do with the EcoBoost. So V8 is the way to go. These are reliable engines. They last a long time. They got good power. I think it's a win. Personally, V8 for me. The only thing I put on underneath here is this. It's a JLT oil separator. So it just takes it off the PCV right here. Puts it around, knocks the oil out, puts it back into the intake. I just got it. I bought it when the truck was brand new, so I'm not dumping oil back in the intake. Usually before every oil change, I'll empty this out. Or if it's winter time, you want to do it a little more. Gets a little foamy in there. But I think it's a good investment for keeping the oil out of your engine. Gumming up the intakes and all that good stuff. So as you can see, a lot of room in here. Ford's always had the big heads on them, but good engine, ample power. Transmission makes it really nice too. I think it shifts perfect. I know GM and Ford have the 10-speed automatic co-developed between the both of them. My neighbor has a GMC with the 10-speed, and he's already had to get it towed twice. So far, no problems with this. Hope it stays that way. So keep you updated as I go, but so far, so good. So here's the interior. This is the Lariat, so it's got the leather. As you can see, leather seats. It's got the heat in the rear. Up here you got heated vented seats, you know, the smaller display. I know all the displays now in most vehicles are these giant like tablets on the dash. This is good enough for me. I do like that it has 4 auto. I do like that in the winter time versus just 4 high all the time. Lock and rear diff, so you just pull out on that. That locks the diff. Obviously if it was on. It's got this foolish backup thing which I don't use, but you could. Trailer brakes, I do use those because, like I said, I tow. And it does have tow haul mode and all that good stuff when you go through the settings. It's got a bunch of safety features. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know what they do because I don't use them. You could, I guess, if that's something you're looking for. You got the power on the dash. You got like a little house plug and a cigarette lighter. I just plug my radar detector into it, which you're allowed to have where I live. And it's nice. Big glove box in it, you know, it holds a lot. I got a bunch of shit in there, so I'm not going to pop it. Little storage compartment there, glove box, you know. And this would be the key you get with it. And I do like that it has the hit twice and the tailgate lowers by itself. No, it doesn't go back up, but oh well. And it does have the digital insert in the middle, as you can see. I'll close the door here. So there was my mileage from yesterday, 12.1. Let's turn this light off. There you go, 12.1. That's what I was getting yesterday. I got, well, 62,096.9, so it's pretty close. It's pretty low mileage for the year. I don't drive it a whole lot. I do a lot of highway driving and not a lot of city. It's got, you know, you could turn the lights on the mirrors and stuff like that, and just down here you can do both sides. These things are cool when you're out on out in the property and stuff. Power fold mirrors. I use that all the time here when I'm in the garage. I usually keep it closed, trying to get out through the door. Power windows, you know, the program seat things down here, you know, all that good stuff. That's pretty basic stuff with most modern vehicles nowadays, right? And I have a little additional sound system. Like it does come with the B&O. As you can see here, it's got B&O. I'm not sure how many speakers it is, but it does sound okay stock, but I like a little more bass than most people. So in the back I have a little setup that looks like this. It's just 4 Scar Audio 8s and a ported box. The 1200 watt amp underneath the seat. So it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I think it sounds good, and I like to have a little bit more bass when I'm driving. That's just me. Everybody's different. I found the factory stereo was good up until a point, but then when you got the volume so loud, it would just sound like tin cans in a paper bag. And that's fine for most people, but I just like a little bit more. Factory, it did come with one 8-inch sub. So the back seat room for obviously these trucks is, you can fit anyone back here. Back seats are huge in these trucks. That's one thing that's really good about the Super Crew. And I like the fact that they have the full doors. One thing I didn't like about the extended cab when I had it, it was just really hard to get in and out, and the doors are suicide. And if you're ever gonna buy the extended cab, I found out where I live in Canada in the cold climate that the doors would sometimes be hard to close, almost impossible to close if it was outside in the cold. You would open them, and in the extended cab, the water used to run down inside the door and freeze the cable, and you couldn't close it. I had that problem with mine. My dad had a Lariat extended cab as well, 2015, and he had the same problem. So if you're going to get an extended cab, just keep that in mind. I don't know if they fixed it, I doubt it, but that is one of the problems with the extended cab that I don't have with this. And also, you can see I park in the garage, so I'm probably not going to have that problem anyway. On my truck, the whole under seat of mine is, like I said, this woofer box. No, you're not going to get this when you buy the truck stock, but this is what I have in my truck. It does come with a nice under storage seat compartment, which for me now is quite useless because all it has is this in it now. But if you didn't have this stuff in here, you could put lots of tools. I used to have this pack full of gloves and tools and all that stuff. But this is what mine has underneath the seat, and I'm okay with it because I wanted it, and I just put the stuff in the box in a little tote. So that's just my preference. You know, if you don't have it, it's a lot of storage underneath there, and that is nice. And then, like I said, this rear sliding window, definitely a must. Definitely nice to have a rear sliding window. I definitely like them a lot. So now we're outside the truck. Obviously it does have all LED lights in the back, which I think the LED is better. Like if you're going to buy a truck, especially nowadays, everything's so expensive, and all they put on now is these little shitty bulb lights and stuff. Like, these are a lot nicer. Now the only disadvantage of these, I've heard stories where the wiring and behind it gets fouled up, and then you got to buy new light. And of course the blind spot monitor is in this, as you can see from the little emblem, and these do get expensive. I took mine out and I put some dielectric grease in the connection, just like a preemptive fix on it. So hopefully that works. But the tailgate, like I said, you got the double click, tailgate drops. I like the feature. You know, I put a little rubber mat in mine just because it's there's the light. There's a light in there. I put the rubber mat just to keep shit from sliding all around. I did just spray in this myself. Probably like a month after I had the truck, I load a truckload of gravel and I scratched the box all the shit. So I sanded it down. I just did this myself out of a spray can. And honestly, it's held up quite well for only using a spray can. There's a few scratches there. I ended up dragging a heavy toolbox across it and it gouged it out. But for a cheap spray-on coating, it did really good. And I just put all my shit in a tote back there, just because obviously underneath my seat there's all the stereo stuff, trail hitch, and all that good stuff. And then the lights. Right, it's pretty good. You know, and then you got all these little tow hooks that come standard, and it's a short box. You're not going to put a whole lot in it. You know, if you're going to haul a lot more stuff in the box, you're probably better off to get 6.5 foot box. This is all they had with the 5.5 foot box. I do like the proportions of this truck better. I think it looks better with the short box. And the tailgate is quite heavy. It's probably because it's got so many cameras and all that shit in it. But this is the one I got. So, you know, I'll deal with it. And I'm actually not too sure what this truck can tow. I'd have to look into it. I went on the Ford website and I looked at the spec sheet that I showed you guys in my video. And with the rear end and all the other specs that I put in, according to the Ford website, my truck can tow 9,100 pounds. That would be the ultimate max. That's kind of interesting to me. I thought it would have been more because I've towed close to that, but oh well. If you're gonna tow more than like 10,000 pounds, you shouldn't own a half ton. You should own like 3/4 or 1 ton. I would just skip the 3/4 and go right to 1 ton. That would be your best bet. But, you know, that's me. So that's some of the features that it has. I personally like this truck a lot. I like how it rides on the highway. I like the fact that it's quiet. I had a Lexus SUV before this. And it wasn't near as quiet as this thing. And you know, short wheelbase is kind of floppier. This is a lot smoother. That's one of the things I like about it, especially when you're on the highway. Obviously, the height. We live in Canada, so you know, you get a lot of deer, moose, and all that good stuff crossing the road. If you were to hit one, I feel like you'd be a little safer in this. It's winter time here, it's like -20 out, so you're probably not gonna get the greatest mileage, let's just be real. But for what it is, I think it's great. Now, if you're towing, you're gonna get a lot worse. I towed my little mini excavator on my car hauler trailer a few weeks ago, and I was getting around 18 liters per 100. But I'm only towing it like a short distance, so I can live with that. You can tow a camper with it. Like a big one, I probably wouldn't recommend. I got a big one, 29 foot, and it is not comfortable to tow with this. It's all over the place. That was even with the weight distribution hitch on, and it was just too much camper for this truck. And it was windy that day, and it's just flapping in the wind. It was wagging this thing all over the highway. If you're gonna tow with something big, just skip this and go with something bigger. That's my opinion. You can do what you want to do. This is all YouTube is, right? Is everybody's opinions. But I like this truck, and I never showed you, but it does have the panoramic moonroof. I usually keep it closed. If it didn't come with it, probably would have bought it. I don't really care about the moonroof. I never use it. Half the time the shade's over it anyway. In the summer it's too hot. In the winter time it's not going to be open because it's snowing. It's pointless for me, but whatever. Of course I do got gray. You know, I like gray. I like the gray colors. I had a gray Mustang, same color. They're the same color, same engine. I liked it. It was a good combo to have in the garage, but I sold that. So we're left with this. We'll go for a ride here in a minute. It is snowing, but it'll be nice and warm inside. And things I do like, the leather, I do like the heated steering wheel, heated seats, vented seats. Do feel a bit weird sometimes, but it's nice in the summertime when it's hot out. Like I said, it's got heated seats in the back, sliding rear window, cool bonus. 4-wheel drive works flawlessly. I've not had any problems with the 4-wheel drive. Other than those two minor things, the running boards, which you can live with. It just looks like shit when they're all corroded, so I put them on. Front pinion seal, that was replaced under warranty. This thing still does have warranty for another 2 years. I think 2026 is when the warranty's up on this. So hopefully we don't need to do any more, but you never know. Hey guys, we're up for a spin now. Probably tell out the window that it's winter time. Just out on one of the back roads here, driving around. It's pretty quiet. There's a bit of crap on the road, so it's not going to be super quiet like it normally is. And all-terrain tires kind of howl a little bit. A little more than the Goodyears I had on it before, but overall it's not too bad. I was bumping some music, but for copyright, can't have that on right now. But we'll go down this road here a little bit and it's a fresh kill over there. And I'll do a little walk around. I'll show you we're not all jammed up in the garage there. Show you what it looks like. Hopefully the camera's not too wobbly. I only had one mount and it's kind of flimsy, so hopefully it's not too bad. It's one thing I noticed when you film videos, you need mounts for everything. Carry backpacks with you, camera gear. But yeah, so I drove around all yesterday and I still have, I filled this up probably like a week ago. I haven't really drove it much, but right now I have 1,024 kilometers to empty. So that's one advantage of the big fuel tank. There's a lot of range, which I do like. Here in Alberta, most of the roads are just flat and straight, the odd hill. So it's really nice driving something like this where it's quiet, got a lot of passive power. I do like that when you like floor it, it'll drop 3-4 gears right off the bat and just go. That's one thing I do like about this transmission. I had a blue, back in the day I had a 2010 blue Ford F-150, same style as this, 4-door short box. There's the FX4 back then when FX4 was like a trim, now it's just a sticker. That was the first truck I ever actually paid off, like fully, throughout all the years of payments. So now I've had this 2020, and I've had this 3 years. Like I said, this was a leftover. So I did buy it, it was brand new. I just bought it the next year in March of 2021. And up until now, I'm really happy with this truck. It's really smooth. This road's a little jittery, so hopefully you guys can not get all shook up there. But you have to take my word. On pavement, it's good. We're on a dirt road right now, covered in snow, so it's not going to be a good representation. But I'll get some driving on the way out. But even right now, it's super smooth versus what I think other vehicles drive like. But got the heated wheel on now, heated seats. It's nice. It's probably this mount too. This mount's not very good. I don't have many good mounts that stick on the windshield that I can film, so maybe I'll have to look into that. And this road does look pretty bad, so I'll take you off here in a minute and I'll show you what I'm driving down, just so you can see it. So here's the road we're driving down now, just so you can see that it's not exactly the smoothest road in the world, although you're a lot smoother on that mount than you are on the one that was facing me, so that's much nicer. Just an old rutted out dirt road. The wheel works nice, definitely nice when it's cold out. I think it's like -20 with the windshield today, so it's not too bad, but I didn't really want to stand outside and film for 20 minutes to half an hour in it, so we did the old garage one. Okay guys, we're just coming out of the old dirt road onto some snow-covered pavement. See if you can see it ride a little better. Like I said, that mount's pretty shitty. You've seen it, it looks pretty sketchy. And ironically, when people see all this shit in the window, me driving, nobody speeds. Go figure. Or maybe it's the fact that most photo radar trucks in this town look like this. Maybe. I would definitely recommend a truck like this, an F-150, whether it's XLT, Lariat, King Ranch, whatever. I think they're really good trucks. I've never had any major issues with it, and I hope I don't. But you know, these things are full of tech. There may be something in the future, who knows. But if you're in the market for one, these trucks are really good. Reliable, tow good, good on the highway, good fuel economy, especially for the V8. I'm really happy with the fuel mileage of this V8. 10 speed smooth. I haven't had any problems with the 10 speed. So definitely thumbs up for this truck. This is definitely the best version out of all the ones I've had. The 2010, the 2016, the 2010 and 2016 had 6-speed autos. This has the 10 speed auto, which is much better. Like, just floored that. I went from 8th to 3rd. Just drops gears instantly. And this is on a shitty snow-covered road. You know, then we're back up to 8th gear right now, 1,500 RPM. The revs are still dropping. It's definitely a good truck. I would definitely recommend one. I don't really think it even matters what trim you get, whatever your price range is. There's definitely lots of these for sale. They're all over the place. And used truck right now in today's market, I would definitely say is much better than new ones. New ones are just a little bit too pricey, too expensive. You know, I don't know what a version like this. I'll check it out. A new version of this truck, the exact spec. I'll have to see what they cost. I'd imagine it's in the 80s. And, you know, that's a lot of money. Like, that's Canadian, you know. It could be 80 to 90, I don't know. Like, these half tons, I've seen them for 100 grand. Like, that's way too much money to spend on a half-ton pickup. These here in Canada, I've seen around, you know, Lariats, I think I've seen around 40 to 50,000. I think that's a pretty decent price for a used truck. Wherever you are, you can probably get them less. I'm not sure. This is just Alberta market. Depends on where you get them. So used, I would say, is definitely a way to go. F-150, definitely recommend. Go check one out and see for yourself. It's quieter than the Lexus SUV I had inside. Like, I'm not even yelling at you guys, I'm just talking to you normal. By the way, these tires, they're really good in the snow. Glad I got them. There's also an app for this truck, so you could start your truck anywhere through your phone. It tells you the service, the tire pressure, all that, you know, modern stuff you get with new vehicles. It's really nice. You're not limited by the range of the fob. A little snow covered from the dirt road we went down. Definitely the best half-ton truck I ever owned. paid sticker price for this, so that was even better. I find it really hard to pay what people want for these things now, which I think is just ridiculous prices. I think that's probably why the used truck market is just so high, because the new vehicles just cost so much. Like, it's totally retarded. They cost way too much. So, if you're in the market for a used F-150, you're looking for, I think this generation was 2015 to 2020, with this exact body style was like an updated look. It was 2018 to 2020, just an updated front fascia and all that stuff. Definitely a good generation of trucks. We're back here in the garage. I wanted to mention that this does have a front camera. It does have a little thing that pops open and cleans the lens of the camera. I think it's every 3 or 4 sprays of the windshield, this thing will come out and clean that camera. Something like that, I can't remember it exactly. Tires did good. And I have the cover closed on the inside, but there's the panoramic roof. Honestly, like, I don't really care if I have it or not. Like, the whole roof is glass. I think it's something I could live without, and I know a lot of other people could too. All that was included in the package, so, you know, that's all I could do there. So, thanks guys for watching my review on my 2020 F-150 Lariat. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you maybe learned something new, or if you're in the market for one of these trucks, maybe you'll give it a go. I've had no problems with it. I would definitely recommend. Now, this is my 3rd one, so obviously I'm a Ford guy. If you're a Dodge, well, you're probably not going to watch this review anyway. Or a Chevy guy or whatever. If you prefer one of them, go for it. I think they're all kind of the same anyway, but this is definitely the one I prefer, and this is the one I would go with. So, thanks for watching, guys.